Yeah, DXB today. I hope you're enjoying the show. A bit of a sports special for you today. We're speaking to current and former sporting stars who are keen to inspire future generations with their knowledge and learnings. Now, are you ready to become the ultimate athlete? That's a question for you this evening. Well, maybe our next guest can put you on the right track. Boom, boom. Welcome, of course, Lisa Campbell, the founder of Ultimate Athletics UAE. Great to see you as always. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
I want to talk about your journey, if we can, from national competitive athlete back in the UK to education, all the way through to Ultimate Athletics. I mean, again, I suppose I put it to Mr. Dean a minute ago about what was your eureka moment going, okay, I want to give more back, I want to set up an academy?
Well, I'd been here for 4 years, teaching in a school, and they had an athletics track, so of course I'm going to use it. So we started just a small after-school club, and then lots of athletes from outside the school wanted to join, and you know, I thought I could actually do something here and make a difference. And I had just had 2 children, so I really wanted to get them involved in athletics as well. And I'm good at multitasking, but it was all getting too much. So teaching during the day, coaching at night, 2 young children, and I thought something has to go, you know, something has to give, and I really want to follow my passion. And I founded Ultimate Athletics in 2015.
And that was when? 2015, yeah. Because I remember chatting to you back then as well. And I was scratching my head as to try and work out where the athletic sort of facilities or knowledge was before you guys took that plunge. But I always remember as well, when you set up, just the extraordinary roster of coaches that you put together as well, which again sort of fed into this idea that a lot of people post-competitive sport had moved here in different roles. Is that fair?
Yeah, yes, that's true to say. You'll find a lot of athletes coming over for warm weather training, using the facilities here, which are amazing. Dubai Sports City was the main hub.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I basically founded Ultimate Athletics. That was our main base, and I was lucky enough to meet good athletes training at the time who doesn't want to come and work in Dubai, you know, so that's how we grew. It was kind of very organic. I didn't, you know, advertise or anything like that. So the coaches that we have are all, you know, competing athletes themselves, which is a great role model, great environment for the athletes to be around.
And you said, you know, obviously you work with young people and kids as well, but as a teacher, we were speaking about this just earlier, do you find the sport does complement the work in the classroom? You know, do the kids have more energy? You know, does it really help them? Because that's exactly what we found with the swimming.
Yeah, 100%. It's just like that burst of energy, isn't it? The adrenaline. At first, of course, getting up early, teenagers, it's very difficult. But once they're there, you know, the weather's generally really good in the morning. So yeah, they absolutely thrive. It makes them concentrate more during the day. It also gives them a mental break, you know, from the stress of exams and study. So we do encourage them to keep training, even if they reduce the load, but to still keep training while they're going through those stressful examination times.
And I'm curious about like the different age groups that you have. Like, how is the training geared up to implement on, like, say, different on the tots, different on the, you know, kids, on teens, on adults? Because I would think that teaching someone new as an adult is different than starting really young.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually start really young, so from age 3 we have our TOTS programs. Just, you know, keeping it lighthearted, keep it fun, but teaching them how to run, you know, correctly is quite important. If they learn that young, then they're not going to have like overuse injuries, need gait correction later on. So we try to keep it, you know, lighthearted, multi-events, learning the fundamentals of run, jump and throw, which are sort of transient, generic skills which translate to all sports really, apart from swimming. You're going to run, you're going to jump, you're going to throw in majority of sports. So having those core skills and foundations at a young age, whether they're going to be an athlete or not, is going to help them, you know, throughout their sporting career. So we have the TOTS, then we have the specialisation around, you know, 10 to 12, where they find that they've got a skill in sprinting or in long jump or in high jump, javelin. So they have specialised coaching, longer sessions. And then obviously the teens, we try to get them into competitive squads. So they'll go overseas competitions and just, you know, preparing them if what life is like as a professional athlete. You know, it's not just the training, it's the nutrition, it's recovery, it's rest, and sleep is very important as well. So just preparing them at a young age of all the processes. We find that the adults also want to take part now because we have masters category in the race nights. So a lot of the parents will compete for the first time, you know, maybe in a few years. They haven't put on their spikes, but we're trying to show that, you know, you're never too old, and there's always a competition for each age category.
Lisa, I must ask you this, and I touched on it with Tom a bit earlier in terms of the mentality and the mindset. When I was training to be a tennis player when I was younger, there was less of a focus on the mental side of things. You know, I was journaling, but I didn't really know what I was doing. Other than that, a lot of my training was just physical, and then a bit of weight training, yoga, all of that good stuff. But the mental side of things, you did touch on it briefly. Could you give us a bit more insight into what that looks like, and at what age conversations and language starts to shift for those that do want to potentially be athletes?
Yeah, good question. So around about sort of 15, 16, you find that the serious athletes, they need that extra encouragement, whether it be anxiety training, visionary, so imagery. Gabby Thomas did an amazing speech where she said she wrote down 100 times, I will be Olympic champion, I will be Olympic champion. So just positive self-talk, motivation with not only intrinsic rewards, but, you know, medals as well, things that are going to inspire them. So we get people in to talk to them, like professional athletes. Maybe we'll get Tom, but he's while he's out here. But just, yeah, so motivational talks. There is an anxiety coach that we work with if they do need to reach out to someone. But generally, having good relationship with the coach as well really helps, because this is the person that they probably see more than their parents.
Out of time, but just very quickly, a shout out for Ultimate Athletics. Do you continue throughout the summer months and things like that, or?
We do have a pre-season summer camp,
Okay.
but we do also take 6 weeks off.
You need a little rest.
Much
Rest
needed
is
break
important,
for the
isn't it?
coaches and the athletes. Yeah, so it's like our winter break, but in summer.
Okay, perfect. So people can find out. If there are people looking to get into it, just reach out to you guys on socials or otherwise, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah. Ultimate Athletics UAE.